social media is not an advertising platform. I don't know if you remember, but when you first joined Facebook, you're not there for the ads, tama ba?
Yeah.
You're there for what? You remember?
For
Friends, right?
relationships.
Relationships,
Yeah.
memories,
Yeah.
right?
Pictures.
Things that matter to you,
Yeah.
right? If that is the way you want to use Facebook, don't you think that's the way other people want to use Facebook as well?
Yeah.
Then why do we keep distracting them with
Ads.
advertisements? Alright guys, we are back in the studio with Miss KC Marquez, the International Executive Property Officer of SMDC. She deals with real estate, and for today, she's gonna have a couple of questions for me. This is again a reverse guesting episode, and this is a mentorship session for me with her. So, Casey, thank you for being with us here in the show.
Yeah. Thank you, Sir Sean.
We can start with how long have you been doing real estate selling, and how long have you been training other people?
Well, for real estate, I'm doing it for four years already. And for training, I've been training brokers abroad for just a year.
So you fly out to them?
Yes.
In order,
and online as well.
And online via Skype, or
video call.
Video calls. Got
Messenger.
it. How young are you, Casey?
I'm 25.
25, very young.
Yeah.
So let's move to your first question. What do you have for me?
Okay. First, may I know what are your views on real estate investing?
Real estate investing.
Yeah, for you.
So
Sir
promotion, huh?
No, I just don't know.
Just kidding. So yeah, real estate is definitely one of the best investments you can have, but it is capital intensive. So this is again just my opinion. If you're going to go with payment plans for a condo unit or a house and lot, I'm a house and lot type of guy. Condos are not really my thing because after 50 years, we know that it's going to go back to the corporation by right. So I'm more of a land banking kind of guy. If I'm going to be investing in real estate, that's because it has no expiry. The lot, if I buy it, is going to be mine until I sell it, even if it's going to be 100 years, 80 years, etc. Hopefully, I live to more than 50 years. Para hindi na siya kailangan bumalik sa corporate, no? But definitely buying a house and lot or a building with a lot in it is a better investment for me. And I would, if I had the capital to be able to do that, if I have a multiple streams of revenue and I have the capital to buy a house and lot or a commercial property with a lot, I would and have it rented out, because that way I am able to make passive income from the property, and at the same time property prices are rising depending on where you buy. So definitely choose the location, of course, where you're going to buy from. And we all know with the advent of Pogo, how much the rent is. It's like one house that's 300 square meters can fetch you like 200K a month, which is crazy because it's making more than commercial leasing prices now. And after, 5 to 10 years, the lot has also increased in terms of its value. If the house is still in great shape, then the prices will easily double, maybe even more than double. And that is a good return on investment on a year-on-year basis if you are an investor. So there are pros and cons. The cons is, of course, you need a lot of capital to do it, because if you're going to loan from the bank, if you did not get a good rate out of the loan, it's going to be difficult for you in terms of the interest rate, because your investment, instead of making that much more, then you're making that much less if your interest rates are high. In terms of the pros, it's very good because not only do you get dividends out of the rentals, your investment is also growing because of the property value.
How to manage your appointments with people if at the same time you have a lot of things to do, a lot of responsibilities?
The best way to have more time is because you can't make time. You have 24 hours a day. That's how God created time, right? I don't have 1 hour more than you do. You don't have 1 more hour than I do. So the best way to make more time is to, number 1, prioritize. If you go back to the root word of prioritization, because now we have the plural form, priorities. But going back in time, it used to not have any plural form. There's just priority. It's singular. Because you cannot have multiple priorities. If everything is urgent, then nothing is urgent. If everything is important, then nothing really is important. So you cannot have many priorities. You can only have one, maybe two, and that's it. And the rest of the things that you may need to do or you may want to do, you have to delegate it. I always say, buy other people's time. That's why you have to have a team. For example, here in SEO Hacker, we're a 50-man team. There are so many people here working to help each other out so that we all have more time. If we're less than 50 now and we're serving the same number of clients, guess what? We will all have less time because we will work overtime every day. So how I prioritize the appointments, the meetings, all of the stuff that I need to do is I delegate and I prioritize.
My next question, how
Sure.
will you attract new clients, or what are the most effective advertising techniques? And if you can explain how you use social media to promote products, properties.
With SEO Hacker, how we do it is, of course, we rank number 1 for the most difficult keyword in the country, which is SEO Philippines. And why it's the most difficult keyword is because all of the SEO companies are trying to fight for that keyword. That's our holy grail. That's the best keyword to have if you're an SEO company. SEO Hacker is ranking number 1, and we have other keywords that are similar to that: SEO services, SEO company, SEO agency. Since we rank for it, people find us. Those people are already interested in SEO. That's why they searched it. They go to our site, they fill up the form, they become a lead, and then we get in touch with them, set a meeting, and close the deal. So I don't really advertise, strictly speaking, because we rank for it already organically, and that's how we generate most of our revenue. So SEO is a big part of our business. Other things we do is we get a lot of referrals. So we have strategies where we get referrals from clients, friends. I also have very good branding in terms of being an expert in the SEO and digital marketing industry. I've spoken in a lot of events, so there are some people who would just contact me and ask if I can do work for them or consulting for them. And if they like it, then we proceed to sign a contract here with SEO Hacker. So there are different channels and funnels of leads that we get our deals from, our sales from. In terms of Facebook advertising, yes, we have actually an ad going on. The name is Honoring Filipino Greats. But it has nothing to do with SEO and selling SEO. It is an advertisement to honor some Filipino-founded companies who we're partnered with. They're our clients, we serve them, and we love that they are Filipino-founded because we have a lot of companies here, they're foreign-founded, and they just went here to penetrate the Filipino market. We celebrate Filipino entrepreneurs, Filipino entrepreneurship. The focus of that ad is not to generate return on investment, it's not to get leads, it's not to get sales. It's just to honor them, and through that honoring, create more awareness. That's it. The problem with advertising is a lot of people, especially small to medium entrepreneurs, think na, no, gagastos na rin ako dito ng malaking pera, dapat makakuha din ako ng leads. Kahit na yung gusto nila talaga nung umpisa, branding and awareness. Because advertisement is more about branding and awareness. It's rarely about leads and ROI. Rarely. Mahirap sabihin na itong ad na to dapat mag-generate ng ganyan karaming leads, ganyan karaming ROI. At its core and at its essence, advertisement is outbound, meaning you distract people from what they're doing. If you're watching YouTube and you advertise on YouTube, guess what? Within the content that you really want to watch, magkakaroon ng ads. Di mo naman gusto panoorin yung ads eh. Pero nandun siya sa gitna and you can skip it. And usually what you do is you skip it because you're not interested in the ad. You're interested in the content you're watching. Advertising is usually treated as a big stew. Meaning, gusto ko mag-leads generate siya, mag-ROI siya, gusto ko mag-ganito siya, mag-branding siya, mag-awareness siya. Ang daming mong gusto mangyari dun sa iisang ad na yun. Ang ginagawa mo, you're like a chef who has a ref and you get all of the ingredients, you carry it over the boiling pot and you throw all of the ingredients there. You mix it and then you feed it to your people, and how it's gonna taste is not so nice because you just got all of the ingredients, you threw it in the stew. But, for example, in my case, I know it's for branding and awareness, and that's it. If we get leads from it, it's consequential. Okay? It's a consequential effect. It's a blessing. It's icing on the cake. So my stew has a recipe. I took only the necessary ingredients from the ref and I made really great stew out of it, and I'm happy about the results. A lot of companies, even big companies actually, do it in a way that it's a big stew and it tastes bad in the end kasi ang dami nilang goal para dun sa isang advertisement na yun. So, yes, we advertise on Facebook but not for lead generation. We advertise on Facebook for branding and awareness and honoring our clients, deepening the relationship. So how you can do it, relating it back to you as a real estate agent, would be you post about, so social media is not an advertising platform. I don't know if you remember, but when you first joined Facebook, you're not there for the ads, tama ba?
Yeah.
You're there for what? You remember?
For
friends, right? Relationships, memories, right?
Pictures.
Things that matter to you, right? If that is the way you want to use Facebook, don't you think that's the way other people want to use Facebook as well? Then why do we keep distracting them with advertisements? It doesn't have to be a Facebook ad for it to be an ad. It could be you advertising what you're selling. And some people really don't want to see that. There may be some people who do, but they're far and few in between. So if you post about stuff that matter to other people, then they start to notice you. Then you can sell to them. But first, you have to give them value about your expertise. For example, our sit-down consulting or mentoring session right now, if this is valuable to you, and you go and become the vice president of a certain company and you require SEO, guess who's the first person you will remember? Exactly. So that's how I advise other people to do it. Even on Facebook, provide value first to other people. Post stuff that they will find well-meaning and valuable and enriching to their lives. And then you can start a conversation with them about whatever it is that you're peddling.
So you provide value first, then you build relationship. Then from there, referrals, and you know what may happen. With you, Sir Sean, do you prefer working independently or as a part of a group?
Naturally, since I'm an introvert, I prefer working independently. Naturally. That's my natural or instinctive behavior. But I also found out that if I do everything on my own, the effectivity would be small. And I'm not going to be able to grow bigger than that, which is a problem because I don't want to work until I'm old and gray. I want to replicate myself to other people so that they can replicate themselves to other people. And us as a group will be able to produce a lot more. Then I can retire earlier. Is retirement important for you?
Yes.
What do you plan to do when you're retired?
I want to enjoy my life with the people I love.
Okay, what does that look like for you?
A rest.
Okay, I want to write 100 books when I'm retired. Okay, I'm starting now, but I'm sure I can write a lot more when I'm retired, right? In order for me to write 100 books before I die, I need time. That's why I want to retire earlier. Because if I cannot retire earlier and I'm still working until I'm old and gray, I am never going to be able to write 100 books because I require to work deeply. And deep work, you only have around 3 to 4 hours of deep work per day. It doesn't get any more than that. Deep work is when your creative juices are flowing and you're writing very, very well. If you're able to communicate very well through whatever it is that you're writing, be it an article, a white paper, or a book, that is the deepest work you can do. And in order for me to achieve a state of deep work, usually I need an hour of quietness and just me meditating and focusing on the screen and what I'm about to write. After that 1 hour, 3 hours to 4 hours of deep work, bam, I finish the book, right? In a span of 1 or 2 months, I'm done. And then editing happens. In order for me to do it takes time. If I want to be able to achieve that, I cannot work independently, even if I like doing that better. Okay? I need to work with a group, with a team. That's the only way I can achieve my big picture goal in my life, which is the reason why I want to write 100 books is I want to influence a lot of people that there are better ways to do things in our world today than surrendering to the corruption, surrendering to the extortion, to the dirtiness of business and employment. I want to write about these things because that will go on to live beyond my years in this earth. So writing is very important for me. It is my first passion to write. That's how I have founded SEO Hacker, through my first blog, which is a Christian blog, God and You. And I want to continue doing that. Did I answer your question?
Yeah.
Clear enough?
So you involve people to be with you after you had your time alone as an introvert. Then you allow them to see what is in it that you've already come up with. Right?
This year, I am able to do that more. But how I'm able to do that is by raising more leaders in the team. I need first to establish the team in terms of their leadership capability, their sacrificial commitment to the company and to each other, their servant leadership, meaning they're serving other people in the team. If that has been established, then I can take a step back and work deeply in my books. And I've just finished my second book. But I finished writing it, haven't finished editing it yet. So it's gonna take time before it goes out to publishing. But in terms of writing the book, it's done. And how I'm able to do that is we have raised more leaders in the team. Not enough. We still need more. And one of my projects this year is to do a lot of seminars, at least 10 leadership development seminars internally for our team at workplace. So that's unfortunately not open to the public because that's for the SEO Hacker team. But it's a program that I've developed here. So it's not a workshop. It's just a 1-hour seminar, 10 seminars, and then we have breakout sessions for facilitation. That will increase the number of leaders that we have in the team. Once that has increased, I am able to do more deep work, more editing, and a better overall publication. And that book will go on to outlive me and reach more people than I could ever have in terms of me just, doing a one-on-one mentorship or even me just speaking to a crowd. Because when I have a crowd, it could be from 50 to 100, 200, or 800 people. That's a lot of people. But my books can reach, 10,000s to the millions, right? True. And again, it will outlive me. So I prefer doing deep works, writing and publishing books. That's really my long-term goal.
Yeah, you prefer leaving a
legacy.
Being legendary. Last question, Sir Sean, okay. So how can I have that security from all the competitors I have, since there are a lot of sellers and developers, knowing that this is my bread and butter? Because earlier you shared to us that there are things that you're sharing to most people and it's fine with you because that's not your bread and butter. But as for me, we have a lot of competitors. So do you think, how can I manage that, or any?
It's just like how I am sharing my talks publicly. The entire talks, you can find it on YouTube or on my website. And I'm not insecure about it at all, even if other speakers do copy it, incorporate it in their content, and it's my material and they don't give proper sourcing or what do you call that? Proper attribution to me, right? Or reference to me. Credits.
Yeah.
That's fine for me because I know at the end of the day, it's not my bread and butter, that's right. But also, they can never deliver it like how I deliver it, right? They can never, because they're different people. They cannot copy my way of speaking. I use the Lessig method. So if you check my PowerPoints, one PowerPoint is 150 slides to 300. And that's just for like 1 to 2 hours. So the Lessig method is a very PowerPoint-oriented method rather than a few slides and they just talk a lot. I don't do it that way. I try to engage everything visually, body language, facial expression, tone of voice. I use everything to try and influence their retention, memory retention. They will not be able to do it the way I do because they've been doing it the way they want to do it. And they're not going to change their style just because they found out this new material from me. People still get me even if I have a lot of materials published out there. And some of them even want the same exact video material to be used live and presented by me for their event. So it's amazing how many people will want you because you give away free stuff. For them, if this free stuff is amazing, then the paid stuff must be magical. So they would rather get me for that. Now, how I'm applying that to you is there are certain things that only you can deliver in a certain way. And you have to make that known. You have to make it known that ito, ganito yung way ko eh. Maalaga ako or high touch ako in terms of my client, all of my client base. Kung naka-experience na kayo ng broker na hindi na kayo papansinin pagtapos ng benta, hindi ako ganun. And you need to make sure the world knows that. That's what you market out. Because not every broker is the same. In fact, you're all unique. Your styles are all different. How you do it will never be the same as how another real estate agent will do it. So you have to market the good differences, the unique selling propositions that you have that only you can do.
I will market what only I can do.
Yeah.
All right.
You have to first
Got it.
identify that. Okay? If you're able to see clearly for yourself, these are some of the things that I really do well. How do I know that? Because most of my clients say, KC, I really like this about you, blah, blah, blah. You already got some clues from that. And you should know yourself better in order for you to say na, okay, yung mga ganitong bagay, ito talaga yung kaya kong gawin, masaya akong ginagawa ko to. And na-appreciate ng lahat ng kliyente ko yan.
Yeah.
And then you market yourself that way.
I'm good. Thank you.
All good?
All good.
So,
Very helpful. Thank you.
okay guys, thanks for tuning in and joining the conversation with us again. This is KC Marquez. She is a real estate agent for SMDC. If you are interested in any SMDC property, please do get in touch with her. We will leave her contact details in the show notes in the Leadership Stack podcast website. Thanks guys, and until next time, keep leading.